Hello, plannerets. Hope you're well. I thought I'd jump on to plan out my weekly spread in my A5 bullet journal. So if you're about, say hello in the chat. I'm on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. It's nice of you to join me. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm also on YouTube on the horizontal version. So if you're able to jump on your desktop, fantastic. You'll be able to see sort of like, I guess, a wider view of my planner pages. But I am in my A5 dotted grid Luxterm 1917 bullet journal. Bullet journal, and I have it in the powder pink, but you can't see that because I am using a Hobonichi cousin cover. It's looking light blue on the screen, so depending on your monitor, it's sort of like a teal, and then the inside is this, I guess, sort of peach coral lining, and so I have that inserted in. And then that's how I am storing my A5 bullet journal. So let me know if you have already set up your weekly spread for the new week of June 29th to July 5th. And so I'm going to have this spread with columns. So let me show you. I did this particular spread last week, and I thought, oh, I might want to do that again. So that's how it looks. I actually created, appointment times or time blocking, but I don't really use set hours apart from, any Zoom calls or any YouTube videos that I need to do. So I'm going to actually, instead of having the time from midnight to 6 p.m. go down the column, I'm just going to leave it blank. And then at the top part, I'm going to put my known appointments or top priorities. But this is how the setup will look, similar to this. So let me just go and start off with that. So at the top here, let me zoom in a little bit. At the top here, I'm going to put the date range, and I'm going to use my, I think I have both the blue here. Where is the Tombow Fudonosuke brush tip marker comes in a blue barrel and a black barrel. And I think the blue one is the hard tip, a hard brush tip, and then the black one is more of a flexible, soft little brush. So what I like to do is that I just like to create a little block square, and it looks like I am needing to get a new marker because this is running out. So I like to create just, I think that one's gone. Let's check this one. I think this one's a little bit better. So yeah, I've been using this sort of like little box to create my little headings. And it looks like I have used it a few times already, and it is running out of ink. The great thing with this Tombow Fudonosuke brush tip pen, let me just put some little music on. Let's see if I can, let's do this one. Let's just put the volume down a little bit. Is it doesn't bleed through. So let me just show you. There's a bit of ghosting. I think the paper for the what do you call this? The Luxterm. I think it's one. Let me see. Does it say it anywhere? Let me see if I can read that. I can't read it. I think it's. I can't read what the GSM is, but so it doesn't bleed through, but you see a little bit of ghosting, but that's fine once you start writing on it. And so I've got the black square or rectangle, and then I'm going to use a Uniball Signo white gel pen. And here's a little tip that I saw from someone. because sometimes the flow of the ink doesn't flow very well. If you grab yourself a little blue tack or little putty, or even just a piece of paper, and just block the end, what that does is sort of like creates a little vacuum inside and really pushes the ink down the barrel a little bit better, and so it will flow a little bit more than without it. Now, do be mindful though that if you do that, because it's pushing the ink, then it might dry. It might dry out a little bit more, or yeah, the flow of the ink will flow out faster. So and now I'm going to put here June. Speaking of, I think it has dried. See, I told it. The tip has dried because, and of course, when I want to use it, it's not going to work because, when you're live, nothing works. Okay, all right. So what can I do in this case? So there's a little tip. There's a tip for you. Let me see if I can grab something else. And of course, I don't have my paint pen. What are we going to do here, folks? What are we going to do? Let me see if I can find some other white gel pen in the meantime. Okay, this will do. All right. Let me see if I can do something with this one. Let's see if we can go and hack this. So let's just add a little. So this is just a little bit of blue tack. Hello, Anya. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. What time is it where you are right now? Let me know. Is it evening? So here in Sydney, it is 3 p.m. on a Sunday, the 28th. And so, look, I'm actually very, very tired. We went out, hubby and I went out last night and we got in late, but I need to go and plan out my pages. So then that way I can plan to, my things for tomorrow. All right, let's see what that does. So I added the little blue tack at the end. And let's see if it helps make the thing. Okay, it's not working. All right, we're going to leave it there. So pretend that says June 29th to July 5th, and it will look something like that. Oh, except I won't write the week because I need to write out both June and July. Let me see. Which one was this one? See, it's dried out because don't leave, maybe don't leave the blue tack on there all the time. Maybe only put it when you need to write with it and you need to push. Let's see. Yay. Okay. All right. I just I blew the into the barrel to push the air, push the ink out of the nib. So see that sometimes you find all these great hacks, but then they forget to mention that it will dry out your barrel or the tip of the nib. Okay, we're going to try it again. Let's try that again, folks, and see if we have liftoff. Okay, so what did we say? Yay, it's a little bit better. We're just going to let it the ink flow out a little bit more. Okay, June 29th. So that's Monday. And it's actually my mum's birthday tomorrow. And then July. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, we managed to save it. And I think 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to July 5th. Okay, so for some of my US viewers, you celebrate your July 4th celebration. So let me know, what do you guys normally do? I know you have like gatherings and family barbecues or things like that, or are you going to be celebrating at home? or are you going to go somewhere else? So now I'm just going to write the calendar. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the pen I'm using is the Uniball, this cute Uniball 1, and so in this cute little orange barrel. So it's just a teeny tiny short one, so you can see compared to a normal length pen, and it is quite chubby. I do have this in another color, sort of like a sand. Let me just show you. I think I'm freezing up on Instagram. Let me see if I'm frozen on Instagram. Okay, let me see. Am I frozen? Am I frozen? So there's been some weird stuff going on with my internet speed, but we're going to make do. So that's the other color, sort of like a beige sand. And the nib that I have on this is a 0.38, and so yeah, okay. And then I'm going to put the date. So we've got 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I moved back into bullet journaling just at the end of May, and the reason for that is because I just like to change things up, and I want to, add more creativity. There are days or months where I like to start from scratch, while other times I may want to already have, something all already written out. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. I'm also going to put 1, 2 in the August there. Okay, so we have the date range. Let me just make sure that my internet is all over the place at the moment. So I just want to make sure that I am, oh no, okay. All right, so now at the bottom here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my, the sort of like the habits. Let me just make sure it's the right size. The habits that are, I want to stand out. So daily habits. So I'm going to use my Tombow double-ended marker. So this is 772 in blush. Okay, so and then I'm going to get, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 8 daily habits that I want to sort of like have it stand out. And what's going on? So let me know if you can see me. I think I'm on YouTube. I should be okay. On Instagram, I don't know if I'm frozen. Let me know if I'm frozen. Oh, looks like I'm okay. I'm okay on Instagram as well. Okay, all right. So next, I did pencil in the habits that I want on here. So let me just erase the pencil marking and write down. So the first one is my meds. So meds. Okay, the next one is AM skincare. I'm trying to get better, when you get over AM skincare, over 50, things aren't as elastic as they used to be. So very important that, You look after your skincare. In my younger days, I didn't, put sunscreen on because I thought, oh, olive skin, Filipino skin. I don't need to put sunscreen. But yes, you do, because, especially here in Australia and the harsh sun, it's important that you look for doing SPF, if your moisturizer has any SPF sunscreen. So I've got get outside, workout, tidy up. Okay, so even like 5-minute tidy up is important to just try and keep your space clean. What was that one that I put there? I can't remember. What it was. So let's put this here, gratitude log. I think this one was expenses. That's it, expenses. I remember. So track our expenses. And then this one is, let's do PM skincare. PM skincare. And then, is the music still on? Yes, I can. And then at the bottom is gratitude and wins. So gratitude. So do a nice little gratitude log, or just one line a day, and note down wins of the day. Right, so then what I'm gonna do is I am going to zoom in a little bit again, and I'm going to use my little stencil and just create little tracker. So just put 7 little circles for each day of the week, so then I can mark whether I have completed each habit that I have noted down. So I will have a separate habit tracker as well, but because I'm always on my weekly spread, it's much better for me to have my sort of like the most pressing habits of the day alongside my weekly, because then I'm always looking at my weekly spread, and then I'll see over here on the left hand side, whether I have completed these priorities, top priority habits. Okay, so just doing little circles. It's just nice little tracker to color in when I've completed it, and it'll give me that little dopamine hit that they always say, try and log wins of the day. And when you are, trying to build better habits or stay consistent, tracking your habits is one of the ways that can help you see your progression, and it will hopefully motivate you even more to complete it. Okay. Let me know, those that are here, if the music is too loud, because I have my in-ear monitor, but I turned down the volume on that, so I might think it's nice and soft, and you guys are like, Marianne, turn that music down, will you? It's just, I know when I'm concentrating and writing, I don't want it to be just no music. Okay, so there we go. That's what I have for my habits on the side here. So what I have on the left hand side of my bullet weekly spread is my date range we've got my calendar, and then we have the top priority habits. So now we're going to create the columns for the days of the week. So if you are also bullet journaling, each column is six dot grid wide. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the brush tip of my Tombow and then just highlight at the top, just to separate each column. So I'm not highlighting the whole width of the grid. I'm just leaving a little bit of space, so then it's not blending in together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write the days of the week as well as the dates. So we have Monday, okay, and then I'm going for the date. I'm just going to write it down and put a nice little circle. Okay, so then the date stands out. Tuesday, can you believe it? And first half of the year, nearly done. Tuesday, Wednesday, so this one is now the 1st of July. Wednesday, Thursday. Here in Australia, our end of financial year is June 30th. So then, you know, got to do tax time and all that stuff. So new financial year starts on the 1st of July. Saturday, thinking, yep, I got the dates right. And then Sunday, the 5th of July. Okay, there we go. We've got the weekly spread. So now I'm just going to divide the each column. So then I'm going to leave that top bit for top priority. But before I do that, let me see. I think I want to put the weather. So let me pop my watch, Apple Watch on, so then I can check out the weather forecast for the new week. And then I'm going to write that down at the top. So then that way, I've got, sorry, my son and my husband have just arrived. So if you hear any noise in the background, that's just them arriving, tinkering in the kitchen. Okay, so let's have a look. So today, all right, so tomorrow is partly cloudy. Where can I put this here? So let me show you, get closer again. On this little stencil that I made for myself using my cutting machine. I think I might have used the Cricut cutting machine for this one. Okay, so then this is just, I think this was a Muji little like document envelope, you know, so, and then I just, because yeah, I quite like the thickness of it, but it's still quite flexible. And so yeah, just sometimes finding the right 11 to 18 degrees, the right thickness of plastic is really good. All right, so Tuesday is just cloudy. So yeah, I like to put the weather, so then, you know, sort of like helps you prepare. 12 to 19 degrees, especially my husband and son go out on their little excursions, because we homeschool our younger son. He's 17, he's on the autism spectrum, so we homeschool him. And they go out on, you know, daily school excursions. What are we? Wednesday is partly cloudy, and so important to know what the weather is so they can plan ahead, because my son has sensory processing needs, and you know, when it rains, he's not too fond of the rain, just because the feel of it, and I guess the anticipation of whether it's gonna rain or not. And sometimes, you know, with rain comes thunder and lightning, and then that can play havoc on his sensory. And he copes quite well outside. You know, he does his stimming. He jumps around 15 to 22 degrees. But then when he comes home, you know, where he feels safe, that's when the sometimes meltdown and challenging behaviors occur. And so by planning ahead on what the weather's going to be like, and it's not just for him, of course, so, you know, so for hubby or my older son who, you know, works outside of the home, you prepare yourself. So then you go, if it's going to be raining, you bring an umbrella. Or if it's going to be cold, you know, have your, bring a jacket. So this one's Saturday. It's another sunny day on Saturday, the 4th of July. And, okay. So Saturday is 9 degrees Celsius. Ooh, it's getting much colder now. I had to ask my husband to turn the heater on because I was like, this morning, Sunday, it's raining. This morning when I was doing my live in the YouTube membership, I've got the long sleeve on, but I was starting to get too cold because my little desk and camera setup is next to the big arch window, and it can get cold sometimes. Okay, there we go. So now I've got the weather, and then here I will most likely, you know, add, you know, the top 3 priorities. So let me just, or, you know, even any appointments or dates like that. So I might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might leave 5 sort of like enough section to add either appointments or priorities. Let me see where I normally, I think I left it a little bit lower there. So, okay, that'll be enough, I think. Now I'm going to use the fine tip end of the Tombow dual brush tip. And I think I might have the line a little bit, one grid lower. Oh, that's not a very straight line. That's okay, that's all right. Once you start writing stuff down, you won't notice too much that it's not, see, it's a little bit it's a little bit wonky, but that's okay, that's all right. Okay, at the bottom I'm going to now draw the drinks tracker, so, you know, drinking water. I think today I have 2 sort of like stencil, like the droplets and the little glass. I think I'll do the glass. So now here's the thing, because it is only 6 grid wise, and normally, you know, like I have 8, sort of like a 8 standard glass of drinks. You know what? I'm just gonna put 6. I'm just gonna put 6. I barely drink, you know, full 8 glasses of water a day anyway, because, you know, they say it's not just the glasses of water you drink, it's also, you know, the water in your food. So it's not just about, you know, making sure that you do have hydration. So 2, 4, 6. Okay, So I might, you know what, how am I going to go and, I might have to go and separate it. Separate the columns with the line, or else, why is that only 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I think I have only 5 on that one. It should have been 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. So the first column, it's only 5 width, but that's okay. What about these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to have to add an extra one on this side. Sometimes, as much as you prepare and you pencil in all the stuff, you can still get it wrong. You still get it wrong. Okay, so I'm just going to hand draw it and try and follow the dotted line. Yeah, I think that works. And this blush pink is light enough that it doesn't like stand out too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the line there. Okay. And then another one here. And a final one to divide Saturday and Sunday column. Okay. So now I can do the water tracker at the bottom. Okay, so then that way all of them will have 6. Okay, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Yeah, so I like I started bullet journaling back in June of 2017, and then I stopped around about 2020 and discovered ring planners. And so if you're new to my channel or my Instagram page, you'll find an eclectic collection of different planner layout, planner size, and planner style. Because my brain likes novelty, I feel like I have a need to change things up all the time, either when I get bored or depending on, you know, how busy or quiet my weeks are. One planner and one planner style doesn't fit the different seasons of my planning. And so what I find is that bullet journaling, you know, can cater for not only me getting bored and wanting to change things up, but also if I have a busy week, then I can create, you know, 2 spreads worth of weekly spreads. So let me actually show you last week's weekly spreads. I had 2. So this one here was more for my personal planning, and then this one, which is the inspiration for this week's planner spread is more for my content creation, because I am running 2 channels now. So this one, if you're on YouTube, it's the Marianne Crest channel, as well as 2 YouTube channels and 2 Instagram page. So Marianne Crest and Marianne on YouTube, where I help, small business owners, content creators, and, those who sell products and services go live, and show more consistency and show up online more often by helping them with their creator workflow. Because I've been doing live streaming for a few years now, and sometimes it's not about trying to make everything perfect, but just getting that one step at a time done. And not only is it my ethos when it comes to planning, but also trying to, you don't have to have everything perfect before you go live, or before you plan, or before you action anything. It's just one step at a time. But what I've found is, I have more work stuff than personal stuff. So I don't need 2 spreads for both things, because I use my habit tracker as more like the things that I need to do on a daily basis for my personal stuff. So I think that's it for today. You know what? There's a gap there, and it's gonna annoy me that there's a gap. Oh, it's not balanced. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little heart. I'm gonna add a little heart there. Look at that. Okay. June 29th to July 5th. I'll let that dry. Let me see if I can use my handheld fan to dry it quicker. And then I'll show you I've started creating my planner spread for the month of July. I started my June cover page. July cover page the other day. So I'll make sure to pop that link in the description, or just check out my channel, Marianne Crest. So you'll find the July cover page. So I need that to just cool myself down. Because of, perimenopause hot flushes. Okay, all right. So let me show you what I have so far for July. Not a lot, actually. Not a lot, but that's my July cover page. So I show you exactly how I created these mason, or how I drew these mason jars and just different flowers and plants, and then the July. So if you want to get inspiration, now you don't have to use these little drawings and doodles just for a cover page. If you just want to, create some little drawings or little doodles in the spaces of your current planner system, I'll show you step by step how I do that. And then on the other side is just the July calendar. Now I have penciled in already for the calendar spread, so I'll most likely do that either later tonight, because I am getting a little bit sleepy because I got up early today, and plus the late night outing, date night with hubby. So I'm going to go and create my calendar spread for July. Now this one as well, I have penciled in, my heading for my July habit tracker, my mood tracker, as well as my sleep tracker. So I'll do that most likely, if not tonight, maybe tomorrow. And then this one, I want to have a little picture a day. Let me see if I can find the inspiration. So this was my bullet journal back in January 2018 to June 2018. And I had a Polaroid tracker that I want to recreate. So that's the Instagram tracker I had back in 2018, where look, back in... what's this? 12th of February was when I first hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. And so that was a while back. So what's that, 2018, 7 years ago? 6, 7. um, but I won't use it for a habit tracker. I want to create these little Polaroid boxes because I have my HP Sprocket photo printer that there is a little square photo sticker. And so what my aim is for July is to try and take one photo a day, and then, just stick it down into these little Polaroids. So then there's a little sort of like a memory keeping. So that's what this little tracker I want to create here. Maybe I'm going to put this as one picture a day. One picture a day. Okay, and then that'll be a nice little memory keeping. So that's what I'm going to do for this spread. And then this one is July expense tracker. So 4 pages worth of expense tracker. So it'll be something like this. Okay, my expense tracker. So I've left enough space. And then here's what I did. So for those of you who may not know, I have an online store with my printable download, so PDFs. I have different PDFs that I've created along the way. And because I have, I'm not using them in my bullet journal, one of the things I wanted to add for July is my Wheel of Life goals tracker. So on here, there's 7 different sort of like pies. It's based on Zig Ziglar's Wheel of Life, that he says, you should do something in, small things in each area to create, balance in your life. So there's mental, physical, spiritual, family, finance, career, and social. So I want to write down very, very simple, actionable things I can do, if not daily, on a regular basis, that hits those different key areas of focus. So mental could be, reading for 5 minutes or learning something. Physical is either moving or working out. Spiritual is meditation. Family is, organizing and decluttering the home. Financial would be track our expenses. Career, so for my content creation, maybe try and do one, post a day that talk about, my offer, or give, tips or best practices, whether it's planning or in content creation. And then social is, calling someone, that connection, whether you DM, FaceTime my parents, or, catch up with friends. So that I added. So what I did actually, this is so as you can see, I've just printed it on A5. This paper is a cream paper from Filofax. So it was a dotted, a plain dotted paper that comes with the Filofax planners. And so because the Leuchtturm 1917 is cream colored, I didn't want to print on white paper and then it would stand out too much. So I was looking through my paper stash, and then I saw the Filofax cream paper, and I thought I'll print my Wheel of Life printable download. So if you did want to check this out, you can check out mariannecresp.com. On YouTube, I've just started. I'm not sure if the Wheel of Life actually is in part of that collection, but you can check that out. Hello, Tan. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Hope you are well and getting ready for the month of July in your planner. Thank you so much for joining today on YouTube. So I printed the Wheel of Life. So instead of, drawing it up myself, I just thought, what, I'll just go print one of my printables, glue it in place. So I just, to make sure it fits within the A5 page, I just trimmed the sides and the bottom, and then I just glued it in place. And that looks pretty good. So once I start writing on it, it's gonna look like it's, part of my A5 bullet journal. And then of course, here we are, what we did today. We set out my June 29th to July 5th weekly spread in my bullet journal. At the top section, so I'm using columns for this week. Top section, I put the weather forecast. I've divided up the columns in two. So here I'm going to put my appointments and any top priorities. And then the rest, the bottom part, is all the tasks and to-dos that I want to complete for the day. And then at the bottom, I do have the little drinks or hide my water intake tracker. And then I'm going to start adding my things from, actually, I have to fill in. See, I need to go and complete my July calendar soon, so then I know the things to add to my weekly spread of, any Zoom meetings or any appointments or any coach session that I'm running with my clients. I need to pop that in there. So I also need to put that, or get this ready. But I am getting quite sleepy, so I might give myself a little rest. But that's it so far. So for July bullet journal planner spread, I've completed my cover page from the other day. So check my channel to see how I drew these mason jars with the plants. And then today I created my weekly spread for the week of June 29th to July the 5th.